Thumbtack presents the ins and outs of caring for your home. Out, uncertainty, self-doubt, stressing about not knowing where to start. In, plans and guides that make it easy to get home projects done. Out, word art. Sorry, live, laugh, lovers. In, knowing what to do, when to do it, and who to hire. Start caring for your home with confidence. Download Thumbtack today.
All right. Welcome back to the Chicago Tomahawk, everybody. We are live on YouTube and Twitter. Welcome, everybody. Happy Sunday. Me and Matt, we're going to get into some Blackhawks news as usual. We're going to get into some hockey news, and we're going to talk about the cap that's going to be going up and some possibilities, some ideas that we have for the Blackhawks and the NHL in general. So Matt, you know, other than yesterday's loss to Florida, which was, what was that, 5-1?
Yeah, 5-1.
We've been close in games, losing, yes, but losing by one goal here. So I think that the team is turning around in some ways, but losing nonetheless. Obviously, we have a lot of gaping holes, and if we fill those holes, we'll be able to, I think, be definitely more competitive. But I think that we're in the dog days of winter, and we're starting to see maybe some effort issues in some guys. A lot of people are talking about Connor in the Florida game because he wasn't back checking, and you know, I see that one of two ways. Okay, you know, Connor wasn't exactly drafted so that he can come in and be a sulky type of player. He's a point producer, and him being a point producer, he should be thinking about offense. And, but, you know, at the same time, it's like, you know, you should be back checking. You should give a little bit more effort, you know, say on the, in your own zone. How do you feel about that, man? Do you think that, Connor maybe not giving 100%, you know, going back to back check is a problem, or should he truly be focused only on offense, especially considering the Blackhawks' offensive woes?
Well, yeah, it came back and bit him because they scored that goal.
Yeah,
and of course he's getting
which makes it
called out
worse
by the media and everything like that. But yeah, he's offensive-minded guy. He's like Kane. You know, Kane was here to create offense. He wasn't a Jonathan Taves type sulky guy. So pretty much, I hope he develops better with the defensive side. I'm sure it's in his mind already. Like, yeah, I got to be better at that. And he's a workhorse, man. I think he's going to develop fine.
Yeah, I think he is too. I just think that I'm in the camp of him focusing on offense and creating offense for for his team. Like that unreal snipe that he had, dude, versus the Canes. I mean, I was watching
Tampa,
it was Tampa.
Yeah.
I was watching. They said that there was a 3.5% chance that he could make that shot, and he did. And I mean, it was essentially just their shoulder. The goalie's mask was kind of like right there, and it went right in between the goalie's mask's shoulder and into the corner. It didn't even hit,
goals.
Dude. It didn't even hit the bar. It just went like right through.
You see a lot of that now. These guys, they get a little bit of daylight and they bury them. And this RVH goaltending style, it's really got some holes. That's for sure.
What does RVH mean?
It's like the reverse. Reverse. They play deeper in the net. That back in the 90s, it was called overlap. Like you'd see guys more challenging, so it'd be different.
Oh, okay, yeah. Obviously, Sidney Crosby and Patrick King come to mind because, but more impressively, they do it on the backhand, getting into that top corner, which you wouldn't even think that they'd be able to do that. But you know, I kind of digress a little bit.
Gretz. He would bank it off the little opening if the goalie wasn't hugging the post. Just if he moved up a little bit, he would just bank it right back off the leg. That's how.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
dude, he was just on another level, man.
I don't like how they play it because these guys are so big now. They're like 6'3" goalies.
Yeah, 6'6" in some cases.
And if you're at that angle, giving up a goal, That's a long talk for my dad on the way home. Like, how did you give up that? Well, and guys, yes, the shot was amazing, but I think goalies really need to look at that, because these video coaches now, they're telling these shooters, hey, take it, you're getting it. And everybody says it's a great shot, but I just think you need a save there.
Yeah, dude, I can't really blame it on the goalie, man. Honestly, that is such a.
I do, because you didn't see those in the 90s,
right?
Even the early 2000s, you didn't see them. The guys were out hugging the post, standing up. No one would even attempt that shot, because it'd be an easy freeze for the goalie and a whistle, face-off, or a turnover. And you don't see them now. They play so tight deep in the net, and they're exploiting it. Especially guys like Bedard. He will find those little tiny holes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of like how the times are nowadays with guys are the skill level. As the game changes and as goalies change, I would think that shooters are going to change and doing things differently than what guys weren't doing, say, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, well, that too, but that's just how they're teaching the young kids, and they're just coming up, and it's the only way they know. I never seen Brodeur give up goals like that. Never seen Belfour give up goals like that.
Yeah. What did Messier have to say?
Oh, well, he just called out the effort of Bedard, and he was right about that. Him and PK were kind of going off about they should bench him to teach him a lesson, and he's going to be a bad locker room guy if something a little bit over the top. And it's like, okay, guys, you said your thing, let it go. We're not Philly. We're not going to bench the young kid, because we can't afford to bench anybody. You can't afford to bench your best player. Philly, yeah, he's not the top dog in Philly. You could get away with that, teaching him a lesson, but you can't do that here.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Bedard does give effort, man. So it's not like it's a lack of effort from the guy.
Guarantee he was the hardest on himself. I mean, in that locker room, he was like, God, I fucked that up. He probably apologized to the team. But to say he should get benched is insane, I think.
Yeah, it is.
But the effort, Messier calling out his effort is fine. You can have a take. You got a right to say what you got to say. But to keep kind of saying like it's a bad locker room type of thing if you don't punish him, we're not there, dude. We're a rebuilding team. We're going to see tons of mistakes. But, and in Philly's different. Torts is different. He's a different animal. He expects perfection from these guys, and he wants his Russian to he wants him to play a certain way, and the Russians kind of free burden it a little bit, and he's getting benched. So you frick around, you find out with Torts.
Yeah, I think that's a very different situation, being there with Torts and having him. I think that he's like, his intentions are well of what he's trying to do. He's trying to create a new a culture there, and wants guys to play a certain way, play the right way. And, this Russian has probably never had anybody tell him, not to play the way that he's playing, because he's always been elite at, everywhere that he's gone. Not a knock on Torts, but do you think that Torts needs to kind of adjust his coaching a little bit?
No, because he's still here, and, I think he's got over like 500, 600 wins or whatever it is. And
yeah,
he's not going to change now. That's for sure.
That's not teaching.
And the players, like, they're younger, they're more entitled and stuff like that. And it's kind of clashing a little bit.
So, now that you mention that, we've talked about this a little bit before. How long is it before these new guys kind of force some of these old coaches out?
New coaches or new players?
How often do you? How soon would you say, like, these younger players coming in? That I would probably say the Matthews, McDavid generation is probably like that line of where kids have a bit of a different attitude coming into the league, and they've been in the league for about 7 to 8 years now. So
10,
I would
right? No.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're getting close to that. Yeah, you could. Yeah, 10.
Maybe
we'll
more,
just say 10.
Yeah.
We're getting to another generation now. How long, and these guys are probably more entitled than they were. How long is it before these young phenom players that are coming in that do not relate to some of these much older coaches say, like Torts. I think Torts is like 63.
This could be his last ride, I think, with Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he'll get something like a. I don't think he's going to go for a cup, but I think this is his last chance at probably a cup with Philly. I still think they're a couple of years away, but a lot of these guys who's left with the old guard, you know?
Yeah.
You got, I think Cooper is probably the man, I'd say, him and Rod Brindamore.
But he's in his 50s, though, and Brindamore, I think he's in his 50s, too.
Yeah, but they're so good still, and guys love them, you know, players love them. I can't think of anybody else. Like Lindy Ruff, he's an old guy, he's with Buffalo. It's probably his last run. Peter Laviolette, he's been around a while. I'm surprised he still has a job, quite honestly, in New York. But yeah, we're probably going to see a new wave of young coaches, like the guy in Washington. I'm blanking on his name, but he's really turned that team around.
So this isn't the little itty bitty teeny tiny bowl. This is the Super Bowl. Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and you have a shot to score big by betting on them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download your DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code ShyTomahawk. That's code ShyTomahawk for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms of responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Man, it's Super Bowl week, dude. It's Super Bowl week, and you know what? It's a good excuse to, have some wings and all that stuff. We're going to have people over if you want to drop by. Anyway.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code CUMULUS. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge. From worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Anyways, what was I going to say? Dude, I wanted to talk to you about the cap coming up. There's going to be some big changes in the cap. They are projecting that the cap goes up by, hold on, I got it right here. In 2025, 2026, next season, this season it's $88 million. Next season, $95.5 million. Okay, so that's a $7.5 million increase. 26, 27, $104 million. In 27, 28, $113.5 million. So we're looking at almost $25 million in additional cap space coming up in 2 years. And obviously the Blackhawks are not a team that are cap strapped right now. And we've got some guys that are going to be looking for money. I think Nolan Allen has been playing really well. He's going to be getting a new contract. Korchinski, depending on how he does, he's going to be getting a new contract. Bedsy can start negotiating this summer. Obviously, he's going to get paid big bucks. We could talk about that in a second. But we've got free agents hitting the market this year. And a lot of people are talking about Mikko Rantanen and Mitch Marner. And who would you rather have? Now, Mitch Marner, a plus for him is that he plays both sides of the puck. And I've been looking at him recently, and I've noticed I didn't think that he was a Selke guy last year, but they've had him in contention for the past couple years. And I've been watching him since last year, I would say. And yeah, he does play both sides of the puck, and he puts up a ton of points. Mikko Rantanen, not so much. He doesn't really go into the corners. He's not going to go in there and win puck battles for you, but he will snipe. I don't think that he is looking at the $14 million that people are predicting that he is going to expect, and $14 million for Mitch Marner. What kind of contract would you offer them, considering that the cap is going up exponentially in even next year? It's going up by $7 million, but it's going to be $25 million within the next 3 years.
So are they going to both be 29, right?
Yeah.
I would give him that 14, maybe 15.
Rantanen too?
Yep, for less term.
I would give Marner 14 for 5 years, 15 for 3, maybe even 16 for 3.
What did Matthews do? Did he do a 4-year deal?
I think he did a 4-year deal at 13.5.
I like those deals. He's protecting himself, and he could probably cash out again.
Yeah.
For some reason though, term is big with hockey. I would like to see like a 4-year, 5-year deal for Marner. Same with Mikko. I don't want to go the full 7 though. And
what would you?
They like that long term. Yeah.
Okay, so for Rantanen, dude, I don't think he's worth more than say 12.5.
No, he'll probably get 14, just because of his agent is the same as Draisaitl, and I think Draisaitl's at 14 next year. Bowman paid him, and he's won a Stanley Cup, and he's a good playoff guy. I honestly think he's going to stay with Carolina. I think Carolina's got a lot of cap off the books next year, and they got him early, which I like that. That's gutsy. And they got more time to negotiate and kind of sell the team. If like you got Aho's a fellow Finn. They got time, so I like that move for them. I think that I still think they need goaltending because it kind of fails them in the playoffs, but they got a superstar. They've never had that, so I think he's going to end up going there. Same with Mitch. Mitch could now that the cap's going up. Tavares' big contract's off the books. He'll probably sign cheap. And I think Mitch will likely stay in Toronto. He's a Toronto kid. And him and Matthews are like best buddies. Kind of like Kane and Taves back in the day. So, I don't know. I think our only option to get better is probably trade. And or be patient till the next year. Which you got Eichel and McDavid coming on. But I don't think McDavid's going anywhere until he wins a cup first there. That's just my opinion.
That's interesting. Eichel, I think, could be a decent fit. He's pretty good at the faceoff dot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bedard needs something different because he's the main piece here. I think.
I wouldn't say Eichel should be the only guy.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a dry throat.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't think Eichel's the type. Mitch Marner, I think, is the best fit. The dude is an assist machine, and we all know Bedard's got that shot. We were just talking about that goal and what he could do. He needs a guy to get him the puck and fire it like that. So ideally, I think Mitch is the best out of all three. I'm still on this. I know people hate it, but I'm a big Pettersson guy. I don't think he's going to go anywhere now that JT Miller's out. But he's 100 points. Last year or 2 years ago? I think, and he plays center, which is big, and he's a good two-way guy too. And I think he's a pass-first guy, which Bedard needs. And if the Hawks can make it happen, I'd absolutely love to see it.
They could also put an offer sheet out to somebody.
That's the rumor. They got that third-round pick from Carolina back. It was ours. I looked at the list. I think the best available guy is that Wyatt Johnson from Dallas. But what do you do? What do you offer him? I mean, you're probably gonna have to overpay so Dallas can't match it, and He's still young. He's a good player for sure, but is it worth it? You're going to give up first-round draft picks for, I think depending on the salary you have to give more. First round, third round, so on. But I think it might be safer to just trade a first-round pick to get an established guy like Pettersson, and you don't have to worry about coughing up so much draft capital.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. I'm just curious, like when we brought in Hossa, he was perfect. He's exactly what we needed, and what exactly do we need? Like, who is one guy? This may take a couple years. We might need to sign somebody this year and sign somebody next year too,
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. Like you just said, before Hossa was Campbell. We brought in that really good puck-moving defenseman, and he actually ended up being a really good defensive defenseman.
Yeah, he did.
Keith and him kind of flopped, and Keith kind of was that guy who wanted to move the puck up, but ended up being a huge part of the Stanley Cup run. I mean, your top four, Keith, Siebes, Hammer, and Campbell. It's
Soupy.
Great top four right there, and then you got to just, sit on the edge when Nick Boynton and somebody else was out there. It was like, oh, geez, get these guys off the ice. But same with Roosevelt back in. A couple years later, him and Timonen, oh my God.
Oh, I know.
I was like, dude, give me a beer. I'm chugging this thing when these guys are out in the ice. But it'd be nice to make a splash and then make another splash, and you're going to have to make trades. I mean, we traded Ruutu for Ladd, huge part of the checking line, and Sharpie for Ellison, stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see, man. I just wanted to talk about the cap going up really quick. It actually puts the Blackhawks in a really good spot, but it also helps other teams as well because it gives them cap relief.
It's good and bad.
And they need to start building something where guys want to come here and they see like, hey, you know what? They're doing something over here. They're pretty close. I mean, they're staying pretty close with some top teams in some of these close games, and we really don't have much going on like on the roster. I think getting rid of Hall was a good idea because it gave Landon Slaggert a slot, and he's been really good on both sides of the puck, and I really like him. So
he looks like Hagel, Brandon Hagel.
He does.
He's got the same skating technique too. He's a worker.
Yeah, he is. He's not as fast as Hagel. I wanted to bring that up. He's not as fast as Hagel. He even looks like Hagel a little bit.
He's got that flow going. I got a little bit going on. You can't see, but yeah, he looks good.
You got the feathers out there?
I do. I got a little bit of the, got it going on a little bit.
Well, cool, man. We have a question from one of our listeners, the Tapeworm. She asks, hey guys, I'd love to hear your opinion on this Four Nations situation. With teams trying to make a push for the playoffs, is it bad timing? The risk of injuries for unnecessary games, is it worth it? Granted, injuries happen in necessary games, and that's life. Plus, players off for 2 weeks getting rusty just before the playoff push. I appreciate your opinions on the matter. Do you want to go first on this?
That's a good question. Well, look at Pietrangelo. He backed out because he wanted to heal up for playoffs, and he's putting his team first. The guys who are writing them the checks. I'm kind of going off topic a little bit, and I've heard this before. I don't think it's best on best when Russia's not involved. I don't know how you feel about that.
Sure. No, I agree.
Yeah, but if a guy's hurt, absolutely I would take the time off. A lot of the guys go on vacation, they're playing and stuff, but it's an honor to play for your country. I get that, but say if it was Bedard in there, I'd be all over it. We're last place team. I'm going to be playing some competitive hockey, but most of these guys are in playoff hunts and stuff like that. I worry about Matthews. He says he's good to go, but he's been in and out of that lineup a lot. So I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder. There's probably something lingering with him.
I think with the timing of it, I don't think that the timing is good. I think that the heart is in the right place and getting something like this started and going, but I don't really think that it's really going to allow the best of the best to kind of buy in, to go on ahead and go all out on this tournament when they know that a lot of these guys have the playoffs coming up in 3 months, and that's going to be another grind for them. So do they really want to put themselves through a grind in the middle of the season. It's already an 82-game season, and then a grind through the playoffs. So I think that the timing is bad. I think if they were smart, they would. What do you think about midsummer hockey, man?
I was just gonna say the timing, maybe after the Stanley Cup playoffs, but a lot of the guys are drained.
Yeah,
it's almost like better to do a preseason type of thing.
Yeah, say in September, where they have this tournament, and then dudes can hit camp and hey, we're 2 weeks in and we've already got some of our conditioning done. We're ready to go. Kind of like a tune-up before camp.
Yeah, there's going to be guys am I going to take this shot from so-and-so? Probably not. I'm going to let this one by.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hurt. I don't blame him, but
sure.
I don't know. I like the All-Star game, dude. Bring back the East versus West. Just make it simple. None of this 3-on-3 shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, all right, everybody. That's all they've got for you this week. Have a good time with the Super Bowl. Thanks for tuning in on live. If you guys have any questions, hit us up on Twitter. We will, we'll grab those questions. We'll put them in here, or, we'll have you on live if you want, and we can talk some hockey, chop it up a little bit. So have a good rest of your weekend. Happy Sunday, everybody. And you guys take it easy. This is the Tomahawk. We're out of here.